today on Store Talk, we're honored to have a special guest with us today. Here on Store Talk, we walk in our purpose on purpose, and today's guest is walking in his purpose. We have Coach LaCharles Smith. How you doing today, Coach?
Great. How you doing today?
All right, all right. I know it's busy times with, getting everything established, making sure players cool, making sure the staff is cool, and just, getting a mental thing. But we wanted to sit down and share your journey and allow everybody to see what you are bringing to the program and, what's inside of you. Can you tell us a little bit about your coaching background and what led you to Springfield?
Yes. So I started coaching over at Sturt High School at the age of 23 years old under Pat Gachardo Jr. And basically, I was a volunteer coach for 4 years. So a lot of you coaches that want to be a head coach is definitely uh, a journey when you become a head coach. But so I volunteered for 4 years. And in those 4 years, I never missed a day of practice, always there. And I started out being a defensive ends coach, worked my way back to being a secondary coach. And then after Start High School, I went on to St. John's High School, being a defensive back assistant coach there for 8 years. And in that 8 years' time, I was a defensive coordinator. I became a defensive coordinator for 4 years at that time.
Okay.
So when I became a defensive coordinator, that's when I kind of started to basically make that path of being a head coach, of what I want to do of being a head coach. And I had a great head coach under Doug Pearson, Crusher. He's basically my mentor now. I just was a sponge to him on how to do things and how to run an operation of being a head coach.
Yeah.
From St. John's, I went over to St. Francis for 3 years to being a defensive coordinator. I was a DC over there for 3 years. Then I went back to Start High School under Godfrey Lewis, a great friend of mine, one of my best friends. And then again, another mentor to prepare me to be a head coach. I always say with Doug Pearson and Godfrey Lewis were the two mentors that I had of being a head coach. From there, I basically had a choice to be the head coach over at Start High School, and I really wanted to come to Springfield High School. When I saw that job opening, I just put all my energy into that, and here I am going on to year 2.
Yeah. Man, was Brandon Carter over there with you?
Yes, a
Yeah,
good,
shout
great
out.
friend.
Yeah, shout
Man.
out to DC, Brandon Carter, and shout out to Coach Pearson too. That was
Yes.
my coach my senior year. I played for Scott 3 years, then I played my last year at Start before going back to Scott and transfer. So he coached me my senior year. So shout out
Wow.
to Coach Pearson. Yeah. Um,
Yes.
what is your overall coaching philosophy, and how do you plan to continue to implement it at Springfield?
Just want to bring the best out of these young men. I tell my staff all the time that we are raising young men. We want to make sure that we are good mentors to these kids, and that they're when they play football, we want to make sure that they grab something from our program to prepare them for life. Whether that's going to a trade school, whether that's going into the workforce, or whether that's going to college, but make sure that they can grab something from our football program and use it to life for life.
Yeah. Um, how would you describe your offensive and defensive styles and schemes?
So I would say we're that offensive. We're a spread offense. Um, I really like. I mean, I'm a former running back, so at Whitmer High School. So we're gonna run the ball. I want to be tough and physical and run the ball, but we're a spread offense. We just want to get our athletes in space and make them playmakers, basically. Defensively, we're just multiple. We're a multiple set team. 4-2-5. I mean, you'll see us in a 4-2-5. You'll see us in a 5-2. You'll see us in a 3-3 stack. You're going to see us in a lot of different things, just so that we can stop a lot of these spread offense that the Northwest Ohio has.
Yeah. What key elements of your system do you believe is crucial for your success on the field?
I would just say discipline. I would say if you are a disciplined coaching staff and you can translate that to the kids and make sure that they're disciplined, we can eliminate the penalties, turnovers, and the mistakes that goes on in a football game. But more importantly, I would say too is just holding your composure. In a football game, a lot of things can go wrong, and when those things go wrong, we cannot be, being down on other teammates. You got to come together closer. So I would just basically, that family part, and I'm just being disciplined.
Yeah. How do you plan to adapt to your strategies using your strengths and your weakness? You lost a couple players via graduation and going to college. So how would you fill those roles, and how would you looking at making sure that you fill those spots so you're not missing a beat?
That's a great question. So we're going to be young this year, and it all starts in the off season. I thought our kids did a great job of gravitating to our strength and conditioning coach, Zach Thompson, and we had a really good off season. So getting those young guys prepared for this upcoming season started in the off season, and those guys know that they're going to have to compete this summer, which they're doing, and their spots open. But Zach has done a good job in the weight room, and our coaching staff has done a good job in June so far, just getting our young kids ready. I
Yeah.
always say with our young pups, I call them young pups. I tell them that they have to grow up and be dogs. So I was
Yeah.
like, this is their time to shine. A lot of those kids talk about it. I said, this is your time to shine. So stop being a puppy and start being a dog.
Yeah, I had the Pulowski brothers on all three, and they speak highly of it. They were anticipating the season starting and just talking about football. They lit up, and you could tell the focus and the energy. How would you be able to, pick and choose, when is it a time to implement, the love for it and allow the players to see that, your program and football is the game of life because it's going to prepare you outside where other people's heads might not be all the way in it. So how would you pick and choose times that you talked about that, or would you emphasize it multiple times during the weekdays, practices?
Yeah, it's a on, and I always say this too about being a head coach or just being a coach in general. It's 365 days a year. If you're just going to use football season to be a coach, you're not going to be a successful coach. But I am always talking with the kids about life choices, and I'm always talking about the kids. Listen, there's hard times in football games and football practices and football season. Um, but I'm always I believe in the tough love strategy. You give them tough love, but then you gotta love them too. So
Yeah.
so you got to talk to those kids twice about giving them the tough part of it, and then you got to give them the love part of it too, and then the why.
Yeah.
A lot of kids too. They want to know what the why is. So as adults and coaches, we got to give those kids a why. Like why are we doing this? So I really think um, the kids at Springfield, and I would say the school at Springfield know um, when I'm serious, when I'm joking with them, and then when that basically, hey, we're going to sit down one on one and we're going to talk about what we're going to do for the future. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, and what is the emphasis last year, and what was the emphasis this year is going to be on balancing academics and athletics?
Last year we did a really good job of just doing some grade checks throughout the season last year. So I got hired in basically in February, March last year. So we started our grade checks last year in March. Now this year I was able to form a team at Springfield to monitor kids' grades. We did a really good job of that. When you're doing this and monitor grades, um, you're letting parents know and the school know that grades are important. So it's always that text message, that phone calls to parents too, let them know, hey, your son is at this grade point average and we need to get him up, or he's got this grade in math and we need to get it up, just so that they know that I'm serious about grades. And not only just grades, but it's just the football part of it too. And I always tell parents, and I tell kids too, the closer you are to our program, you're going to be fine. I said, I have your son. or daughter, but they're going to be fine if they're closer to the program because, again, we have 13 coaches. That's 26 eyes. So we have a lot of eyes on the program. Plus, we got school people in the school that's helping me out too. So, I mean, we just have a lot of help throughout the community also.
Yeah, how do you plan to continue or to build a strong team culture, the team unity, but brotherhood, and allow the players to know that your system is a good system and they need to buy into it for the whole team could be good because there's no I in team that it collectively need to be a group to buy in to do the things that you want to do, offense, defense, and special teams.
Yes, yes. And that's a great question too because we're going through that right now about building a team. Obviously, our seniors from last year, we had some good leaders. One of the leaders that we had was Will Scott. He was our quarterback last year. He's just an ultimate leader. So he leaves our program. But the good thing about it, he comes back to our program because he's a middle school volunteer coach, which is great. Just having surrounding the kids with just positive role models. And then another thing too, to build that brotherhood. I always tell the kids, I said, in the weight room, it's really good. We're in there, we're working out together. I said, but what are the kids doing outside of football? Are they hanging out together? Are they getting something to eat together? Are they talking on the phone together? Are they just being friends? So I try to preach that to the kids. I told them that like we're gonna like we do some fundraiser events as a team, which is good and it's football related. But I was just telling the kids today, our captains, our soon to be captains, like you guys got to hang out outside of football. So
Yeah.
after a football practice, go over to Pulowski's house and go swimming, and everything. Because I really think that really builds the brotherhood of a football program.
Yeah.
And I told them, I said, I don't need to be there every second. You guys need to do some things without me and do it positive. And they know what I believe in. And again, I try to still that down from me down to the coaches, all the way down to the kids.
Yeah. How do you plan to help your players get noticed by colleges, recruiting, and even like schools for the underclassmen and even for the upperclassmen? How would you do as far as that aspect?
So another good question too. I think that gets kind of lost in the shuffle with all this people wanting to transfer and everything like that. But I mean, recruiting. I tell the kids I do have some good friendship and relationships with some college coaches. I try to bring those college coaches in to talk to the kids. And then another thing too, um, just putting any camps that I see out to kids and sitting down one on one with kids, want to know what their futures want to do. You want to play college football? Go to these camps here. Lost these camps that don't cost a lot of money, but you're going to get recognized. And there's a lot of camps in Northwest Ohio, just in Ohio in general, just basically with that will get you that exposure that you need. So I mean, just educating them. You got to walk with the kids through this process, and that's basically my job. And I love doing it too. You talk about the grades part of it, then you have to talk about the sports part of it too. So the grades is first. I tell the kids that you're going to get recognized. Grade point average has to go up, and then I mean the sports part of it, just get them into people's camps so that they can get recognized.
Yeah, with the height and the growth of social media, it says comparison is a thief of joy. So how often would you make it a habit to make sure that they're focusing, not comparing your team, comparing themselves individual as a top state ranked player that's been
Right.
doing it all along and they really a first or second year to not really get it. And then the second part of that, what could you share to people that want to know about Springfield's program if they looking to come to there? What could you say to that?
First part of it, basically, is just kind of, I mean, you gotta make sure that everyone is on the same page, basically. And that's my biggest thing too. I want to make sure everyone is on the same page throughout the program. And it's hard. It's one of those things. It's hard, but I signed up for it. But
Yeah.
if everyone's on the same page, I really think from the community to the kids to the coaches to the school that everyone will know what your philosophy is and what you want to do. And I mean, the second part of it, I always have meetings with kids With the middle school, I'm always going down to the middle school and touching down to the middle school. But with social media, I'm new really to social media, but I mean, just putting positive things about our program. Um, when we're working out and we're doing something fun, you post that stuff up, you just post positive things about the program, and then it's going to trickle down to kids posting positive things. One of my biggest things with kids is to make sure that their social media is clean, because you never know who's looking. You
Yeah.
never know. I mean, social media it can be a great thing, or it can be a bad thing, and it's just depending on how you want to put it. So I always try to tell the kids to make sure their profile name makes sense, is professional. Make sure that they have their contact information. Make sure everything is just looking right, so that if the college coach, or not even a college coach, I mean, if the job comes and looks
Yeah.
at your profile and everything, just make sure that it's clean.
Yeah.
This is one of those things about educating kids on the walk of life and everything, because you want to prepare them for that next step. Because again, jobs are looking. There's so many jobs that are looking at people's social media and see how they are and everything. And I tell the kids that there's 1,000 LaCharles Smiths out there, but how do I separate myself to being the number one LaCharles Smith? And I said, make sure everything is clean. Make sure you have a squeaky clean record, and you'll get noticed.
Yeah, because greatness can come from that school, like it has in the past. Rick Upchurch, he went to the NFL. Eric Page, like greatness can come, and they can
Yeah,
be that next player. What are your
sure.
short-term goals and what are your long-term goals for the team and the program?
Short-term goals, which is another good question too. Short-term goals, just want a positive season. I'm not going to put I don't want to put a number on it. Obviously, we went 2-8 last year. I want to get the program to where it is just a positive momentum. If that's being 3-7, if that's being 5-5, if that's being 8-2, whatever it takes to just get that positive momentum, and to build more leaders too. Not just having 3 guys being leader, just making sure that 10 guys are leaders. And I mean, you can lead in different ways. And that's what I'm trying to tell kids now, that you can lead in different ways, but just be a leader. So
Yeah.
short-term goals, again, without putting a number on it, but just get positive momentum into the program and into the community. Long-term goal, I would say long-term goal is just, I mean, make it to the playoffs, getting a playoff win, just putting that signature win onto the program, whether that's beating a Maumee, whether that's beating a Finley, whether that's beating a Whitmer or Perrysburg or either Anthony Wayne, but just getting that signature win for the program, so that at the end of the season, those kids can say, we beat that team.
Yeah.
We prepared to go 10-0 every single year. So, I mean, I'm going to work hard from game 1 all the way down to game 15. So,
Yeah. What legacy do you hope to leave by on this program? A lot of times, us as players, and I'm gonna say as former player, been guilty of a lot of times our coaches giving us knowledge, y'all giving us the gems, and y'all say when y'all get older, you gonna memorize what I'm saying. You
true.
gonna know the reason. So, what impact do you hope to leave that they can say one day they outside of football? Man, I remember Coach Smith said this. Coach Smith talked about
True.
this. This is why
Yeah.
Coach Smith was doing that. So, how do you plan to leave your stamp on the kids and the program?
I mean, just being hard workers, being great dads, raising them to be great dads, raising them to be great friends, raising them to be respectful, just family members.
Yeah.
If they can, 10 years from now, they can go back and say, like, hey, Coach Smith taught us how to be a good team, to be a good dad, and Coach Smith always pushed me to get out of bed and just push a little bit harder, because I mean, obviously in high school there's no bills, but you know after high school there will be bills that need to be paid and whatnot, and you're going to have to motivate yourself. If they can say that Coach Smith was a person that they can call, if, hey, if I need something, I need something to know, someone to talk to. If Coach Smith is in that top 5 people for them to call, that's all I need. That's definitely all I need. That means that I'm doing my job and everything.
Yeah, last question. Can you speak something positive to the youth and young athletes, whatever comes to your heart?
Yes, definitely. And this is, I mean, this is just not for Springfield kids. This is just for all kids in general. I would just say, um, love your family, love the people that support you. The people that support you are the people that are not going to hurt you, and that they want the best interest for you. Um, Ask questions. If you don't get the right answer, just keep asking questions, because someone, in whatever program you're in, soccer, football, basketball, whatever, lacrosse, whatever program you're in, someone cares for you and they want to see you succeed. So that's what I would talk to the youth about.
Yeah, we thank you for taking your time out. We're gonna support you. We're gonna reshare everything, Springfield. We're
Thank
gonna wish blessings on you. May God continue to lead you to be ahead of young men that you're building to be men themselves after football. And may even your program have favor on it. May your voice, may your wisdom and knowledge touch those kids like never before, and that may they learn something. And may you not worry about the outside noise, but trust yourself, trust what's inside you, and be the best that you can be, because you're going to lead them to be great. And we appreciate that, and we wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you. Can I say something? One more thing, real
Yeah,
fast.
yeah, go ahead.
Thank you too for doing this, because of, I mean, without you and your platform that you give other coaches and whatnot, we can't share our stories. But
Yeah,
thank you so much. And like I said, I saw some other interviews that you did. You're doing a wonderful job. Keep doing what you're doing, because, like I said, it takes a village, right? It takes a
yeah.
village. We're all in this together, and I mean, I know that we compete as coaches and everything, but this is awesome that you're doing, and you're giving us this platform. But thank you.
Yeah, I mean, well, and this just the first of many with you and the players. We're gonna be supporting you, even when because I'm down here in Atlanta, but even when I come in town, I'm gonna try to come to some games and just to support. But that's the reason why I did this platform, just to allow people's journeys to be motivation to other
Thank
young kids. Like we had the young girls from Central, they going to college, the Brooklyns and Cornelius. So the young girls that
you. Yeah,
look up to them, now they're motivated, now they're ready to play. And then the football players that people seeing them now, the mid city kids is like, hey, I want to come on, and now they're asking about the different schools. So that's why when I ask the different coaches or ask you guys, what can your program offer, or what do your school offer, for they can hear it. They don't got to assume or hear people hating, because
yeah,
people are, no, don't go to this school. No, we're gonna hear from the players, we're gonna hear from
yes,
coaches, so you can know for yourself this what you got to offer if you come to be a Springfield Blue Devil.
yep. There it is. Like I said, it's a family, nothing but love. And like I said, it's all through the coaching staff within the school, administration, and the community too. So, and the kids and the kids are blessed to have it.
Yeah, yeah. So we thank you. I'll be in touch with you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yep.
You should my purpose on